Good morning, church. My name's Dave, and I'm on the staff at Community Christian Church at Caroline. And in this edition of the Musings, I'm going to start with a science video. At least I would like to start with a science video, but I can't find anything remotely like what I want anywhere on the entire internet. Okay, so here's what I did. I made a science video. It is terrible. It is cheesy. It's amateurish. It's a complete embarrassment. But I'm going to use it in the hope that it'll give you a simple visual image of a complex spiritual truth. Now, my original idea for the video called for an oscilloscope screen on which to display a sound wave. Well, I don't have an oscilloscope, so I drew one. We start with a sound. Now, the black line is a visual representation of that sound as it would appear on a real oscilloscope. It's perfect, but it's the only sound there is. So we introduce a second sound, identical to the first, but 100% out of phase with it. Now what happens then is rather remarkable. The two sound waves cancel each other out, resulting in silence. So let's make some changes to that second wave. As we adjust the second sound, it moves more and more into phase with the original. Eventually, the two waves are almost in sync. And when they are perfectly aligned, they are one signal. Two sounds, but only one wave. Well, gee, thanks, Mr. Wizard, but what are we supposed to get from that? The first wave is God. His nature, His will, His purposes, perfect, one. Then God makes man in His image. And almost immediately, man gets out of phase with God. God and man have different natures and opposing wills and cross purposes. The relationship is ruined. Communication is disrupted. It's a mess. Then Christ Jesus enters the picture and starts to make adjustments to human hearts. And gradually, man's divergent will and flawed nature and selfish purposes begin to align with God's holy nature, His perfect will, His loving selflessness. And in the end, we are one. One with God, one with each other. Now, I know this is a clumsy metaphor, and I know that our relationship with God is much more complicated than this, but no, it isn't. Our spiritual growth and development, at its most basic level, is the process of becoming like Christ, aligning our will with His, taking on His nature as our own, making His purposes our purposes, becoming one with the divine. God bless you all.